Hello and welcome to Qsports. I'm Umudu Gajaga and thank you for joining us. Coming up, we're talking about the Independence Stadium. A CAF inspection team came into the country, inspected the stadium, and after everything, everyone was hopeful, but eventually the stadium didn't meet one of the criteria as per the communique received by the Gambia through the Ministry of Information. We'll bring you the details of that. Just a few days ago, on Wednesday to be precise, we were at the Independence Stadium at night waiting on the CAF inspector who came into the stadium. He did the inspection in our presence. We couldn't film him. We were not allowed to do so. But this is what happened as to when it comes to the inspection when the official arrived. Inspection officer was taking on a guided tour of the Independence Stadium immediately he arrived. He could be seen taking pictures of the stands. The pitch was also part of the area he observed, including getting a feel of the grass. The VIP area was the last part he inspected before leaving. He will complete his inspection work today, Thursday. After his task is completed, he is expected to report to CAF, after which a decision will be made on whether to approve the stadium to host matches. The Gambia vs Comoros is settled at the Independence Stadium for the 15th of November 2024, pending the approval of CAF authorities. To the untrained eye, the renovation work has given the stadium a new and impressive look, which was constructed 4 decades ago. There are seats in the stands, the scoreboard has been digitized, and the dressing rooms looks beautiful. The Gambia last played home at the Independence Stadium on the 25th of March 2021 against Angola in an AFCON qualifiers, which ended 1-0 to the Gambia, a victory which confirmed the Gambia's maiden AFCON qualification. Football lovers in the Gambia are eagerly waiting for CAF's decision on the stadium, as they dream of witnessing more great home performances by their team. Well, those hopes were dashed, waiting for the Independence Stadium. If you're planning on to buy your ticket to go there on the 15th of November to support the Gambia against Comoros, those hopes have completely faded away for now. And in a letter addressed to the Gambia through the Gambia Football Federation and a press release that we have here, in the letter it says, CAF stated, following CAF's inspection of the Independence Stadium the 31st of August, that's the 31st of October, 2024, we would like to commend the government of the Gambia Football Federation, GFF, and the stadium management for the significant improvements across various areas of the facility, including the dressing rooms, spectator stands, media zones, hospitality services, and other key structural elements. These enhancements represent a positive step forward in align with CAF and FIFA standards. However, we must emphasize that the overall condition of the field of play requires significant improvements to meet the standards necessary for hosting Category 3 CAF or FIFA matches. Due to the current quality of the playing field, CAF is unable to approve the stadium for the upcoming match between the Gambia and Comoros during March Day 5 of the AFCON qualifiers for Morocco 2025. Yes, to address the issue, CAF is prepared to support the GFF by providing a pitch specialist consultant to guide the necessary preparations to ensure the pitch meets all standards for hosting future senior international matches. Well, the same release continues to say the ministry apologizes to the public who have been eagerly looking forward to welcoming the Scorpions back to a home ground and will be moving forward, take the offer of CAF to provide the Gambia a pitch specialist consultant to support the improvement needed. The release ends. Amadou Tamba, we're in this situation, quite disappointing. You and I were dejected when we received the news yesterday in the evening. Quite devastating.
Well, absolutely devastating, and I will say a very good morning to all the viewers of QTV, and of course we're back again this morning. Yes, it has been a disappointing news, and it was really very difficult to exactly understand what was going on, because Gambians had the hope that yes, we will be playing at home for the first time in over 3 years, and that the Scorpions will at least play in front of our home fans, and the fans will give the team a good backing as we search for a place in the AFCON again, because we have 2 important games. But the news came out that the Independence Stadium has not been approved by the Confederation of African Football. And I remembered sitting here when the renovation was going on, and my mind clicked on this, and it takes me back to the same day when I was saying this. Look, I said it, that when it comes to the issue of renovations, as far as stadiums are concerned, it's important to be in contact with those responsible. What I mean is CAF, because whatever you're going to do, they're the ones who are going to approve the stadium. That it takes me to the last point in this release, where it says the Confederation of African Football is prepared to support the GFF by providing a pitch specialist consultant to guide with the necessary preparations to ensure the pitch meets all standards for hosting future senior international matches.
Does this bring to mind that this could have been done
Yes.
prior to the laying of the pitch?
Absolutely, absolutely. This could have been done prior. That's why I said, I remember sitting here and said, anything that we got to do at the Independence Stadium, we should be in consultation to know what they want, the standard they want, and we put it in place. When they come, it's an absolute inspection and giving approval. But once it is not in place, we're going to face a problem, and this is where we are. And I think, well, the release have it that every other aspect of the stadium is okay, bar the pitch. And we cannot get to the Independence Stadium to watch people sitting on good seats or so. It's the turf that has everything, because players will be on the pitch to play. So once the condition is not good, it's going to be a problem. But you look at the condition of the stadium that we have, and you look at other conditions of stadiums in the African continent, you tend to wonder what the Confederation of African Football is doing.
My next question. I want us to dissect on that. Yes, the Confederation of African Football, CAF, have their criteria. They talk about category 3. Is it that maybe higher standard matches, let's say AFCON qualifiers and World Cup qualifiers, maybe if the current state of the pitch is at another category, let's say the U17 WAFU that's been currently hosted in Senegal in chess, maybe if that's kind of a competition, maybe you would approve the stadium for that. But for category 3, I don't know what's the meaning of category 3, but basically it kind of shows, yes, AFCON qualifiers is a huge match, is a competitive match as well, and as well as a FIFA game. But when Sidat came here the last time, Sidat was doing the inspection for the first time. He was talking about, yes, it's not only about the pitch, it's also about the general environment of the stadium and other issues as well, media, and even the perimeter fencing. But when it comes to that aspect of it, now we're talking about the pitch. The pitch, when it was newly laid, it looks beautiful. They said it's a hybrid pitch that is a mixture of both an artificial turf and at the same time you have the natural grass as well. So I am just really surprised by this announcement and the decision taking as well. I'm not an expert, but I'm really, really surprised.
Well, we will all be surprised, and but when it comes to the issue of pitches, there are people who are specialized on that. And I think, yes, you look at the pictures, some will say, okay, the pictures look good, and the turf is also looking good and it's playable. But when they're talking about category 3, I believe that will be the highest standard of pitch on African continent, because look, we are playing the Confederation of African Football Total Energies qualifiers and also the World Cup qualifiers. So they will expect the pitch to be in its highest quality standard. And you can look, you can sense from the release, they stated that the condition of the pitch needs to be significantly improved. That means it needs a lot of work to be done again. Yes.
That means like it's not fit for purpose at this moment.
Exactly. It's not fit for purpose at the moment, and work needs to be done in earnest to ensure that it meets the category 3 that they're talking about. I believe that will be the highest standard of any pitch to host international matches on the African continent, and that will take our minds back to the stadiums that we've been seeing hosting CAF Total Energies AFCON qualifiers and also World Cup qualifiers. And you tend to wonder how on earth did these stadiums got approved and the independent stadium failed to get approved. But right now, what I will say is they came in and they inspected the stadium. They said it does not meet the standard criteria. There is no point in crying over spilled milk. All we need to do as a country is to put our house in order, get CAF in the picture. Now, this is what you stated. We need a specialist that will get us the standard that you guys deem fitting to host international matches, and work start. We have 2 AFCON qualifiers to play and end the group. Of course, we are playing a home game against Comoros, which will not happen now in Banjul. We have World Cup qualifiers coming ahead. So I think there needs to be no need for the wrangling, the pushing and pulling or so. We need to put our house in order as a country, from the government, the federation, and everybody involved. Let's all come together and forge ahead to be in consultation with CAF. Let them get us the specialists who will get us the standard that they require to host these international matches. And work starts from Monday, because we are talking today, Saturday and Sunday. Work starts because we now know that it's only the turf or the pitch that is holding us from hosting home games. Now let's get it done.
Let's get it done. That's the comment coming from Amadou Tamba. Yes, overall, when we look back, why did we fall into this position of not being able to play at home? Is because of the condition of the stadium. Well, it was far, far behind compared to other stadiums in terms of modernization. That's why the remodeling work had to be done. Amadou, how do we avoid this kind of situation for the foreseeable future now?
The fact of the matter is, yes, this stadium is renovated, very good. Let's get the pitch done, and we have a full-fledged stadium that meets the international criteria. But as a country, we need another new stadium. That is the hard fact. I've been saying this for quite a long time. We definitely need another stadium. And once this stadium is done, I think every sporting discipline needs to get its own stadium. Now, we have football, that is the main stadium at Independence Stadium. Athletics needs to get its own stadium for athletics. There will be the musical jamborees and here and there, the political rallies, and so after this, I believe that the stadium will solely be for football. Yeah, there are tracks, there might be athletics here and there or so, but the stadium will definitely be solely be for football, because we don't want a scenario whereas, yes, we got approved playing 1, 2, 3 games and some of the areas or aspects of the stadium got destroyed or so, and we have to be banned by CAF to say, okay, your stadium still does not meet the requirements. But we need a new stadium. This stadium needs to be well taken care of. Those who are responsible for musical programs at the stadium, those who are responsible for political rallies or so, needs to go get somewhere to do that, not the Independence Stadium. And other aspects as well that normally goes to the stadium, that stadium should be purposely for football. Other than football, it should be a no-go area. Other programs should absolutely look at other venues to host their programs. And if that is the case, then we will be able to ensure that there is longevity in the sustenance of the Independent Stadium. But if that's not the case, it's going to be a problem. And I think it's a collective responsibility. And now, here is where you need every Gambian to be a patriot, because we need to see Gambia force. We need to ensure that we defend this stadium, because you cannot go to the stadium and say, okay, I'm here for just 2 hours or so, so I will do anyhow I feel like. If there is anything that is damaged there, yes, it might not be on your head, it might be on the government's head or so, but at the end of the day, we all feel the problem. We are all feeling the hit of not seeing our team play at home, and it affects everybody. So I think once it is done, once the pitch is done and the CAF gives approval, I think everybody should make it his or her own responsibility that, look, this belongs to Gambia, and I will try to make sure I safeguard this. And let the government try to ensure that we get another stadium. We definitely need another new stadium other than the Independence Stadium.
A new stadium, it costs a lot of money. I'm kind of imagining where is the money going to come from. But if you're just joining us, we're talking about the Independence Stadium. The Confederation of African Football says all standards are met except the pitch. The pitch needs significant improvement for it to host international matches. So that means Gambia Comoros will not be played at the Independence Stadium on the 15th. And if you have an opinion about what happened, how you feel right now as a Gambian, you can call and get connected to us on the show and talk about how it felt when you got the news that the stadium has not been approved for this particular match or subsequent matches for now, unless and until the pitch, the playing area, which is the most important part of the stadium where the two teams would rub shoulders, is not fit for purpose for now, unless there is significant improvement. The number is 5050505. 5050505. That's the number if you want to join us on the show to talk about the Independence Stadium. How disappointed were you when you heard the news that the Independence Stadium will not be hosting the match of the Gambia, March Day 5, Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers, Comoros and the Gambia? It's not going to be played at the Independence Stadium. Well, that's the release from the Confederation of African Football, which came via the Football Federation and published by the Ministry of Information and is it broadcast media. The name has changed now. I have to get used to that. Well, Amadou, still now, even if work is done on the pitch and the stadium is approved, we're back to playing there maybe, because the next window that's available for international matches from this November, when we miss out, it's going to be in March next year. That's World Cup qualifiers against Kenya.
Yes, now our target is.
But just before that, we have a first caller. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, what's your name and where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Brikama.
Okay, Lamin, we program auto saying a formula kabri ite news ni mo ko stadium auto de play laje.
Rake for ni kuyade.
Ni kuya warral.
Because I am sporting ni aburundi ko bakala.
Yo, continue dia mola mbe moy kan.
Okay, membe je coming be salon ko responsibility coming nimba fo kanya motam ba fo kanya bela responsibility le Gambia bela responsibility le kaje ko studio woni ay sijo ay ken insawati la kala nyama. Because do ko lo menga lon ko amanke kudu menga la sonya tadu I am fondi income jama balela. Yo especially supporting sport la in football la karola e fota wala completely ni majo membe tabita. Andu fenna menga lon ko safo no pointo membe fota la ni ajam fota bela tu because of na boysol men buka pleja wala kan. Because it's a home match away, away match away. It's like it be supporting sort of nyadi. Mol be bulale no la tel no nyadi kal support kaje ko ila Allah terminali osoro.
Abo kole ala bakel.
So akita mulu courant men ngalon ko ila ke asembo wata men ngalon ko mota bonni nola.
Alon ka baraka bak.
So kal kon don kal tendu kaje ko nyimme motama men foka sallaw ni sarde kam apareta kay mo be wakil dronga na studio woni ngaka football bla damat rek.
Yeah, okay. Baraka bak. Yes, that's very important, talking about patriotism and when it comes to the stadium. Another caller, hello. Yes, we are talking about the Independence Stadium. The Gambia Comoros game will not be hosted at the Independence Stadium, disappointingly, because of the lack of approval from CAF. The maintenance aspect of it, you've talked about, yes, not having musical jamborees there, political programs and things like that. But when it comes to also maintaining the current improvements so far, it's something also very important. Hello, caller. We have another caller.
Hello, assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. What's your name and where are you calling from?
I am Babukar, calling from Oyundo.
Okay, Babukar. What's your say about the lack of approval of the stadium?
Okay, well, it is a disappointing news, We all prepare for this, we were buying, prepare to buy our ticket and other stuff.
Okay.
But unfortunately, we get the news that Gambia will not play home again, Definitely, we didn't encourage it at all.
Absolutely. Must be very sad.
Sure, but I think the solution is, JFL needs to help us next time. If these kind of things are happening, let them order someone who is very good in terms of this pitch, and then the stadium itself, let them help us.
Okay.
At least.
All right, then. Thank you very much.
Thank you so very much.
Thank you for your contribution. Well, Amadou, we're talking about maintenance.
Yeah, I think it's very important. It's a collective responsibility. I know there will be people employed to work at the stadium. I think they should be very, very passionate to ensure that the stadium is well taken care of, and people like us and the fans and everybody who is going in and out should also try to make sure you play a role in helping those people safeguard the stadium, because it's absolutely very key. Right now, we're all yearning to see this team play at home. And looking at the facilities right now, I think the government, the Ministry of Youth and Sports and the Federation have all done a very good work to renovate the stadium. It has been millions invested there. And at the end of the day, we don't want it not to last long. This is where we need everybody as a Gambian to play a part in ensure that the stadium is well kept. And also, it goes down to everything that is at the stadium. Like if you go to the tap, if you go anywhere, you open the tap. Once you're done, close it and leave. So it takes...
And even the toilet facilities should be used responsibly.
Absolutely.
We've been there several times. We have another caller. Hello. Hello.
Hello. I'm still listening.
Yes, please just listen to us on your telephone and not the television. Please, can you turn down the volume of your TV? Yes, hello. We can hear you.
Hello, good morning.
Morning. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Lamin Baji, Birikama.
Okay, go ahead. What do you make of this decision by CAF?
Actually, for me, I'm not satisfied with CAF's decision.
Okay, why are you not satisfied? Tell us.
Because we have been watching games, qualifiers from other nations. We used to see very bad pitches.
Okay.
Looking at the state of the stadium, I'm not a professional to know whether it is that much, but we used to see very bad pitches that our country played on and other countries.
Okay.
So for one game here up to next year, they can also permit us to play. From there, they tell us this and this and this that you need to adjust so that we also feel our nation. And this game is a very important game for the Gambia.
Yes, very
For
crucial.
me, I'm not satisfied at all for CAF's decision.
Okay.
I don't know.
All right, then. Thank you very much for your contribution. Thank you. Yes, so that's another caller who talks about not being satisfied with CAF's decision, because we've seen in other matches where certain countries are playing on pitches which are not of the best of qualities, poor surfaces, and all of that. But they are the experts. They know the reason why. They say, but you have every right to disagree with the statement that is given and the reasons given for the lack of approval of the stadium because of the pitch. Yes, we have another caller. Hello.
Yes, good morning, my brother.
Morning. What's your name and where are you calling from?
I'm Lamin from Jam City.
Okay, Lamin, what's your contribution towards the discussion about the stadium's lack of approval?
Well, once again, I will thank you and Mr. Tamba because definitely he has an amazing voice. I really like the way he do sport.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah, the product of this stadium, my brother, CAF, they are not fair to us. For that of me, I am fully ready, to buy my ticket. The only thing I see that the CAF, they are not fair to us. They need to leave us to play this game. This is a game which we want to see our young Gambians, the like of Yankuwa Mintes, they play the game. Come on, when I heard this news, my brother, it was a very shocking, my mood was it was changed automatically. I can't even understand nothing absolutely. CAF, they are not fair to us, bro. Look at the standard of our stadium and you compare the other stadiums, our guys play. The only problem we have is CAF. CAF, they are not fair to us. And, for sure, we will make it. Our boys, they need to know that, we are dying for them here. We want to make sure, they are there and they take the trophy. Bro, I thank you all.
Thank
I'm
you
very
very
upset,
much.
honestly.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, somebody thinks CAF are not fair to us. Well, lots of opinions when it comes to this kind of issues. People love their country, they love their national team, they want to watch football at the stadium. Some people prior to this decision were asking, how much are going to be the ticket prices and all of that. So
it became a very big disappointment for the simple reason that Gambians were very, very eager that look, it's now, it's coming, it's on the 15th. We have to storm the Independence Stadium. We have to give this team the backing.
Amadou, just another one again. Hello.
Hello.
Yes. Yeah. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Albanyari.
Mbijandorong. Ito di mani ba kumanduro mdole?
Nde mwalani Brikama.
Okay. Brikama ngolwe kumanduro le kende ke. Sai ye muna follow.
Well, that is tough. I'm a traffic on that. Because other countries are yellow people. Because pare watching from the gente o ninga mirambuga because tela no follow me na rja amun ti join for the and then for the room was successful and be able so who have settlement in the join bari muta nam koranke le ya ko by symbol from at love political fund we are dina fongo for at love personal fund share dina political fund
so they are ko political ko makori
political begin they fund this landing was maybe Comoros minni re gemo player dan maybe Comoros supporters no kafuka for no ninge mo ni player dan jamantol sebo to be honest they kafu da malera kodam da man prosi la ko nanga Africa football all bonya because kunu fondi modo be chata bor dana la fanya go alto la pitch from all bental tanya to be honest billah wala fanya go all bental la fi do nya so you do the yol ala wal kapiye ba antol no adiamo ko sial Africa football all bonya
diamo siatal baraka bak amado fana mansonde ako Africa football bo nyama diamo siata ata malla kafla bari ba nyil mu kulleti mi alon ko milbe santola wolle ka decision ota that caller is not happy with CAF. He said a lot about football politics and things like that, but that's another opinion.
Yeah,
so we'll respect every opinion.
His opinion is well respected, and it's been said by a lot of people as well, because I also had engagement with some people who were like, no, that should not be, because our stadium is our pitch is better than other pitches. And he talked about Ghana. I was at the Accra Sports Stadium during the African Games, and the condition was absolutely not good. And when the stadium at Kumasi, the Baba Yara, was banned and suspended not to host international matches, they revert back to the Accra Sports Stadium, and it took them 2 weeks.
2 weeks to work on there
to get the pitch done and other areas of
we'll
the pitch.
We'll be back
and
to Ghana again. Hello.
Hello, na ngeen def.
Jaama rek. Tur bu baax bi ak foo nekk di oote.
Ma ne waaw tur bi xaaral ma la bopp maa ngi oote laa dëkk Ndar. waaye kooku lu mu wax Samba.
waaw
am na ci solo daal yi ci stadium bi mu neexee yàlla su paree. dañ fa bàyyi di fa def yi ci politique ak ay musique di oo ay waal yi su nduuf di ko fa play. dafa tax stadium bi suñ ko defaree du mun a laas loom te Gambia soxla nañ pour di dem di support seen waa réew at least loolu daf leen a gën a ñaax gën a tax players yi mun a am luñ bugga soo léegi loolu daal nañ try ñu baan ko ñu ci politique ak musiciens yi di fa play dañ ko baan man daal loolu ci ma xalaat.
ok jërëjëf laaj bi rafet na. Yeah, so Ghana took them 2 weeks to renovate the Accra Sports Stadium, and it's the pitch mainly. And you know that pitch was abandoned because they also used to host musical programs in that stadium and all of that. They were not happy with the conditions and renovated the Baba Yara Stadium. They were playing there for a while, but the pitch was dreadful in one of their qualifying matches. You know that pitch is far worse than the condition of the Independence Stadium currently, but criteria is used and whatsoever. But now they're back to playing at the Accra Sports Stadium.
Yeah, absolutely. Whether people say it or not, I think there is politics in the beautiful game of football. There is. And for me, what I will urge Gambians now is it has happened, it has happened. Now what we need to do is to forge ahead.
Forge ahead, yes. Let's take this call. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, your name and where you're calling from.
Yeah, I'm Yusfa from Bintama.
Okay, Yusfa, just listen to us on the telephone. Please turn the volume of your TV down.
Hello. Yeah, I'm Yusfa from Bintama.
Okay, Yusufa, just listen to us on the telephone. You cannot be listening to yourself on the TV. What's your say about this? CAF not approving the stadium.
What I've seen in this.
Yes, okay, go ahead.
Yeah, politics is under the carpet.
Okay, what kind of politics? I'm curious to know.
Yeah, because not long ago,
yeah,
CAF visited Comoros, their stadium.
Yes.
Yeah, and they inspect their stadium. They disapprove their stadium.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so after disapproving their stadium, and they know that between Gambia and Comoros game,
mm-hmm.
is just 2 weeks. And they come here, so they came here to inspect our stadium. And after that, CAF may be pushing them. Comoros may be pushing them, telling them that if you approve this stadium, it will be a big problem to us.
Okay.
Yeah. So to me, there's a politics under this.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, then, thank you.
Yeah.
Every opinion is respected. For him, he thinks that, CAF is in a way favoring Comoros. And yeah, but Comoros, their stadium is not like Disapproval now. That's been a long time. So it's not like because even their home matches also, they choose other venues. One of them was played in Morocco against the Gambia. The other one, when they played against Tunisia, was played at the Abidjan Stadium in Cote d'Ivoire. I watched that game. So, lots of opinion, Amadou, when it comes to the comparisons. But it appears we have another caller. Hello.
Hello.
What's your name and where are you calling from?
I'm Modu Jallo from Birkama.
Okay, Modu. My people from Birkama. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, actually, I'm disappointed with this on two fronts.
Yes.
One is on the GFF, and the second on CAF. GFF in the sense that I think you should not be misinforming people in the first instance, raising expectation. So this should be solved before giving out information. So that's actual fault on their side. The second thing is the CAF. To me, it shows the level of respect that they have for our federation and the country. Because actually there's politics in it. Because they will not do such to big countries like the North Africans and other big African countries. So the respect that they have for them will be different from the respect that they have for us as small countries. And CAF should understand that it's a federation of 4 countries. It's an African, it's not Europe. So they should understand that, yes, we must play at a certain level, but they do not have that financial muscle to be able to have those standards. So they should understand that. And if the football, they're talking of fair play, and they're allowing other big nations to play in their home countries, and poor countries, struggling countries like the Gambia, traveling long distance, making a lot of expenditure. So where is that fairness, actually? So allowing big countries to play home, and poor countries like the Gambia always playing outside, making a lot of expenditure, and then there's no fairness in the game. So I think games should come out clean and then express their dissatisfaction, whether they take it or not, but the country should actually express it rather than keeping quiet and say, let's just manage it. But actually, there's a lot of unfairness in the whole issue. So that's my contribution.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Jal. Yes, he also talks about fairness. In 2020, I was at the Stade Lat Dior in Thiès, Senegal. I got close to the pitch. I've seen the pitch. At some point, Senegal were playing their qualifiers before their new modern stadium. That's the Stade Abdoulaye Wade. Was to that standard. Now they've moved there for their international matches. But guess what? The pitch was bad to a point. Sadio Mane, their captain, was talking about how on earth, as professional footballers, they're allowed to play on such kind of pitches. And later on, yes, it was also banned by CAF to host international matches of that standard. But so these things happen. People will always be talking about these things, the fairness or the lack of it, favoring bigger nations than smaller nations and things like that. Yes, football is a game of opinion, it's about issues. Yeah, there are facts. Well, just to say quickly, when it comes to the GFF, the communication that first time raising expectation, the Football Federation, they've never raised expectation when it comes to this issue. They've stated it clearly in even their interviews, the interview that you had with the Secretary General Lamin Jasseh, where he talks about, yes, scheduling the match here is one thing, but approval depends on the inspection. That's when it's going to be either approved or otherwise. So we later realized that it's not been approved from the side of the GFF. But the information leaked, well, mainly the press, people like myself, yes, felt the scheduling of the match is like a foregone conclusion that the match is going to be played at the Independence Stadium come the 15th of November. So that didn't happen. I think it's more like the media fueled it more than the Football Federation in that aspect.
Absolutely, you're right, because I don't think the Federation came up with any statement stating that the Independence Stadium has been approved or nears approval. It was a letter or a release of the game's venue and the match officials that was circulating with some of the media outlets indicating that the stadium received approval, others even indicating that it received partial approval. So it was absolutely an information that raised the hopes of Gambians that, look, we will host Comoros in Banjul. So upon that, we spoke to the General Secretary, who clarified that yes, there is work that has been done, and CAF asked Gambia, where are you going to play? And Gambia indicates that, yes, we want to play in Banjul because the Independence Stadium has undergone massive renovation. But that is subjected to inspection, in which CAF came and they inspected. And of course, they have to give us a communique whether it's been approved or not. Because even that very day that CAF inspector left here, Gambians were like, come on, what happened? What is the news now? What is the news now? I was like, no, it's not done like that. He has to return back, and he has a team that he needs to report.
Even on Saturday, somebody was asking me about that. Amru, we have another caller. Sorry, apologize.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello. Good afternoon or good morning.
Yes. What's your name and where are you calling from?
This is Ibrahim calling from Pursuit.
Okay, Ibrahim, what's your contribution for the discussion that we're having right now?
Yes, thank you. Actually, I have a question. Although I'm not very happy when it comes to the decision from CAF, the question is it that CAF normally provide a criteria or a requirement prior to the approval of the Independence Stadium's renovation? So if so, then if the answer is yes, because I doubt if it will be no, because CAF will obviously give us, this is what we need and this is what we need before your independence will be approved. So is it that our government or the relevant authorities responsible for innovation did not follow that process? So if that is the case, then I don't blame the CAF, but I will blame ourselves primarily.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Another important contribution there, following a specific guideline. Well, I was there when the inspection guy came, and he was looking at several facilities and the renovation work in general. But according to the people who are responsible on the ground, they said CAF had specifications. They have a kind of what do you call it, sort of a sketch that the people who are doing the renovation work followed. And every time they send an update to a particular person and then says, okay, this is good job, adjust here, adjust there, and then they go according to that. I'm not sure if that's the case on the side of the pitch, but on the other areas, they followed those specifications. But for the pitch, I'm not too sure about that one.
Look, in instances like this, I will take you back to where I started even, where they say CAF is ready to support the Gambia Football Federation to get a pitch specialist.
Specialist, yes.
All right, pitch specialist consultant to guide with the necessary preparations to ensure the pitch meets all standards for hosting future senior international matches. Why didn't we do this from day one?
From day one, yes.
Take it to them.
There, yes.
Okay, you're the ones who know what you want to be there for you to approve it. Now, give us what you want. They will just come in and approve. They will not just come in and say, no, this does not meet the standard criteria or so. This did not only happen to the Gambia. Remember Kenya. Kenya had a pitch that is well laid and they were ready to be playing there. And CAF went in and told them this is not the good grass or turf that we want, so you have to take it off.
The standard facility,
yeah,
yes.
They have to take it off as well.
We have another caller. Hello.
Hello, Kajaga.
Yes.
How are you?
Fine, thank you. Your name and where are you calling from?
Mutlamin Jata.
Okay, Mutlamin.
How are you?
Very well.
This CAF issue, it is total madness. Seriously. Sorry to use that word, but it is total madness. Looking at the state of the stadium and other countries, our stadium is far better than other countries. Look, it's simply because we are a smaller nation. That's why CAF is taking advantage of us. And to be quite honest with you, CAF is governed by, these French-speaking countries. There's no French-speaking country that will have a stadium like this and the match will not play in that country. Let's be realistic. Because we're a smaller nation, they took advantage of us. But definitely our stadium is set to host a game. To be quite honest, yes. That's my opinion, and it is my strong opinion. This is total madness. Look, if this stadium, if other countries like Senegal, Ivory Coast, Burkina Faso, Mali, name them, Morocco and others, Algeria, if they have a stadium like this, CAF is not mad to abandon this team, this stadium, to say no, it's not qualified for it. Ghana during the qualifiers, look at the state of their stadium. Their stadiums were banned, but did they go to play any other country? No, they played in their own country. The stadiums are not better than the stadium, our present stadium. Definitely, the government and all stakeholders put up a good decent effort to make sure the stadium is where it is. If they cannot sympathize with us and then ask us to play this, there are a lot of politics in this thing. But obviously, it is not correct. They definitely broke our heart. We were all expecting, that we will all come to watch our last game or our last game for the qualifiers in our own country. The money that we are spending to ferry these players and all officials, plus their allowance and the like, it's just expensive. And still they want us to renovate ourselves to the standard. Where will they get the money? If they're not ours to play and generate money from our own stadium to develop, where are we going to develop? So that is my opinion. Thank you very much for your program.
Thank you.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes, that's another opinion there. Very strong, talking about if this was a Morocco, if this was a Senegal, a Burkina Faso, or Cote d'Ivoire. Yes, they have a stadium which is in this particular state of ours. Yes, there is no way that their stadium will not be approved to play matches. So
yes.
That's another strong opinion.
He has a strong case there because whether people say it or not, I think the Confederation of African Football give, I will not say huge priorities, but there are priorities when it comes to countries. They are ahead of each other, absolutely. If it is in some of the countries that he made mention, I think they will go on to play their games there. But one thing that I want to put across now here is, yes, this is very, very difficult for any country to take. Fans are disappointed, the authorities are disappointed, even the players, because the players will be reading what is going on online. They will be listening to programs, they will be watching videos online. Now, psychologically, we will be in trouble going into the game against Comoros.
Yeah, that game is going to be tough.
Yeah,
it's even going to be tougher now.
That is why the coach, McKinstry, has to have a lot of psychological talk with these players, because I know most of them will be disappointed as of now, even that, yeah, we were ready to go back and play in Banjul, but CAF say we are not playing there, so it will be difficult for us to qualify. Hey, we qualified to the last AFCON. We were 2-0 down inside Morocco. We were able to come in the second half and equalize and got us to the AFCON. So it is doable. The players should be disappointed, yes, but they should understand that it is still doable. Let them not take the advantage of saying, oh, we cannot go back to Banjul and play in front of our home fans, so we could not qualify. We qualified away the last time, and it can be done this time around. So mentally and psychologically, they should be ready to know that, yes, the fans will not be behind them, but they can do the fans proud before they return back to playing at home. Because I believe in the shortest while, if we are able to be in consultation with CAF for them to provide us the specialists and get us the standard that they want, and the pitch is done by March, possibly we will return back to playing at home. So what would the environment be when we qualify away and we enter the Independence Stadium to play in front of our own fans after securing a ticket to our third AFCON? So the players should be ready. They should be ready. Let this not distract any player. They should be ready to step onto the pitch and do the job for the Gambian people.
We know for the past few days, for the past few weeks, the players have been in touch with some of the officials of the team, asking them how far. We are eagerly anticipating, we're eagerly waiting. We can't wait to get back to the stadium and play in front of our fans. Yes, like you said, they'll be hugely disappointed. And still to talk about some of the countries, how big they are, the influence that they have. For the first time in the history of football, yes, I am too young to know whether 50 years ago a similar thing happened. Senegal played against South Africa, World Cup qualifier. Senegal lost to South Africa. The match was replayed. Senegal won the replay game and went to the 2018 World Cup in Russia. We also, that in our eyes, yes, they said, yes, after the game, Senegal had a case. They filed a case that the match was unfair. The referee gave South Africa an imaginary penalty. When the investigations were done, it was found out that there was match manipulation. That's the referee either was bored or something like that. It was a sort of a match fixing or things like that. And then there was a match was replayed. Senegal qualified to the World Cup. We have not seen anything like that in recent years in terms of football. But guess what? It's Senegal, the biggest team in Africa when it comes to pedigree, and also the Secretary General of FIFA at the time, Fatma Samoura, is Senegalese. We're not saying those are the things that led to what happened, but can you imagine? No matter what happened, the referee can give 10 penalties against a particular team, but the result doesn't change. The result stands as it is, but that result has to change. The match was replayed. Yeah. So these things happen.
That's why I said the fan who earlier on stated about politics. There is politics in football, absolutely. No matter what happened, I think at the end of the day, it's the referee who faces the punishment and suspension or so, but the results of the game still stand. We even saw in the Champions League final, the Champions League semi-final that time in Barca and Chelsea, how many penalties happened in that game and the referee failed to give. He was even subjected to death threats. But what happened on the pitch stays there. The result still stands. The referee will face whatever he is to face after the game. But because of the power and the influence that some of the nations have, they are Confederation of African Football, that makes them get advantages when it comes to other decisions or so. This is where we're talking at. And you look at some of the happenings, even designation of referees. I've been crying for this for quite a long time. Our referees have been always doing very well, and you see them playing qualifiers. But when it comes to major competitions, they don't go.
They don't go. Yes, we pick our final caller now. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, what's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Amadou Sana, calling from Bikama.
Okay, Amadou. What's your opinion about what we're discussing?
I just wanted to follow I just wanted to strongly go back to the guy who called from Busibi saying that he believed there is a criteria. There's a criteria for the authorities who are responsible to follow so that they can have the approved, so that CAF can approve the stadium being fit to host international matches.
Okay.
So my case is, if that is so, then I believe it's the authorities who are responsible, who have failed us. And I'm taking it from that of Tamba, saying that they have a specialist who has the technical know-how, a consultant or sort of, who CAF will provide for us. If CAF has already given you that information, why don't you make sure that you see to it that CAF gives you that consultant so that it can help you to achieve your targets. At the end of the day, CAF cannot come back and say that, yes, we have not approved your stadium. Because already they are the very ones who give you a consultant to give you a guide as to how you should go about. So my take is the authorities who are responsible here that have failed us, because they could have tapped that and make the best use of it. But they do not. So my own contribution is that I will not blame CAF, but blame the authorities who are responsible here. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Well, that's our final caller, and that's it. All that we have time for in this edition of Q Sports. Join us next week at the same time, and have a pleasant day. Bye. Comoros is settled at the Independence Stadium for the